Howdy. So we're getting ready to mill this log. Figured I'd bring you up and show you what we're doing. When we did the one, we were testing out down below, we used a ladder, and that posed some problems in how to mount the ladder to the log. So basically we held it in place. That didn't work so well. So we took some 5/4 white pine that we had, so it's not very heavy, and made an I-beam. Fairly straight enough. Could be better. If we keep on doing it, maybe I'll pick up one of the aluminum Alaskan rail systems they have. But for right now, we're just figuring things out. This will do. It is, like I said, some 5/4 white pine made into an I-beam. We're going to secure it to the end. I watched a couple videos. Except we don't have the mill to allow us to do a vertical cut. I watched one guy do one eyeballing it, so we're going to try doing that. Using a framing square on the end, and put a chalk line down and run the saw. We're going to do 9-foot lengths, figuring when we're done we can end up with 8 foot. From here at the base, I said it was around 36, and it was close to, we're probably around 30. Here we're 24 inches. So when I square it up, we're going to lose quite a bit on the sides. We'll probably end up with 16 inches or so, 18 inches give or take. I might not square it entirely off. I'll take some liberty on the side here to maximize what we can take out of the center. We're planning on making some 4x and 6x material, and we'll see how it goes. So, yeah, I'll bring you guys in. I can't really record and do things. I'll set the camera up sometimes, but we'll see how this all works out. So I'll bring you back a little bit. Okay, I've already kind of squared off one side here. We got another line here. We squared it off to the table when we put it on. We removed the table so I could cut. I have a chalk line run down the side, and I'm just eyeballing it. It won't be perfectly square, but it'll be better than it was. And you will be looking at my butt the entire time. Enjoy. Okay, it wasn't so bad. I was following my chalk line the whole way. A little wavy, it ain't that bad. It's better than the live edge. So we're going to set up the platform and attach the saw to the panther mill, and I'll be back. So we're ready to start cutting. We have this secured to the log, some screws to the side and to the end. We got the mill attached to the chainsaw, and we have shims positioned so as we're going down. We spaced out the blade with a 4x6, which gets us below where the screws go through, and should be fine. So there goes nothing. A little high for me to be starting. And we want to move it off that. Oh. Put it right up, put the tip of it up there. Try starting it like this. Okay. Watch your legs. And pull that in. I might have to put it down, but we'll see. Oh. The compression on, there's no decompression valve on the saw, unlike modern saws. So it makes it require a lot of torque. So unscrew that. So like I said, we didn't detach the log. We figured we could just do them in place. We're kind of new at this. We'll figure this out as we're going along. So now we'll back the saw out and then remove the deck. So as I've said before in these videos, we're kind of figuring things out as we go along because we're brand new to this. And we got this nice, it almost looks like you could stand this thing up into a big square peg into a set, and now stand the tree back up. But we were thinking, as we do this cut here, that mill is going to hit here. We're going to be shy. We're making 6-inch slabs out of this big section. We think this first section here is not going to be very good. We're going to cut it. We'll see what we get, but we don't think it's going to be very good. So we'll get 2 6-inch sections from down here. But what we'll probably do is just take the mill off, because we're only doing 3 of them for this one, and yeah, it shouldn't take that long. When we do the next section, I think I'll cut the tree off at the end so that we can do it, because the next one we're going to make 4-inch wide slabs, and if we keep on going, we're going to do 2-inch wide slabs. Today's not as hot as the other day, but it's humid out. It's supposed to be 85% humidity, which means that as you're working, it feels clammy. So now here goes nothing. Watch your hand. I've been in the phone. Ah, you bastard. So like I said, because of our idea to leave those wedges in, we back it up so it doesn't sink, of leaving it in place, which seemed like a logical idea at the beginning, meant that the mill will hit here in the end before we get to the point where we're planning on cutting. I'm going to see how long this is, but we made these 9 feet long. I might just cut a vertical cut right here and just leave the stub off as firewood. That will still leave us an 8-foot section. Makes sense to me at least. So when I get this piece off, I'll bring you in for a close-up of the slab we get. Okay, so here's our slab. It's not bad. Let me bring you up close. Like I said, we're not using a ripping chain yet, so it's a standard old chain. I didn't measure how wide this was, but it's probably about 18 inches. And they said we had to manually cut the end off just because of our flawed technique, and on the next section we won't make the same mistake. But I'm pretty happy with that. It looks pretty good. I'm thinking about taking the top section, which is a little bit, the end was a little bit punky, the inside looks fine, but that'll make a heck of a park bench. And we should be able to get 2 more 6-inch slabs out of the base, and then we'll move on to the next section and do 4s. If we keep on going down, we'll do 2s. We'll see how much work we feel like getting done today. So I'm not going to keep you guys on here just watching me do the same thing over and over again. I'll bring you back at the end when I'm all done, and we'll see what we accomplished today. Okay, so I'm going to close this video down. It's actually pretty dusty. I'm going to put my camera away. We got the first section of log milled out, and we're still, like I said, learning about how to do all this stuff. It was easier. It's easier to cut the log than it was to leave it in place. But I'm really happy with what we have here. We're going to take one of the sections of 6-inch by 20-inch and turn that into a bench bottom, and that top section where the mill is sitting on top of is going to be the back. I'll knock off those couple of knots that are sticking through and put the wide side towards people's backs. That'll be a hell of a bench. Yeah, some the learning curve portion. I'm probably going to pick up some type of an edging mill to do the edges. It's a pain in the neck to do with this bar. It's long, so I have to worry about hitting the ground, and so it takes longer for me to do it. And it's an eyeball square, so I can do a better job with an edging attachment. I'll probably get some ripping chains in the not too distant future. Yeah, it would be nice if we had 2 big saws that could handle long, at least for a log this big, and most of our logs aren't this big, so perhaps I really don't need another big saw, but I'd like another big saw. Something in the 80 to 100 cc range. The steel is a 56 cc, and my Sax Salmer, which I have in the city because I need to rebuild the carb on it, is a 64 cc. That one's actually a really decent saw with a 24-inch bar. I just need to clean the carb. It wasn't running well. So yeah, I'm happy with this mill. Yeah, it's kind of the same as any of the other Alaskan style mills. I like the fact that it's made out of steel. Hopefully it'll last a long time. Sooner or later we'll probably come up with a set of rails. Our I-beam board does work well and costs nothing because we had the boards up in the barn. But it's nice to see that. It's a big piece of lumber there. It's a 6-inch by 18 or 20-inch. I didn't even measure it. Let me take a tape measure. Oh. 18.5 inches. So you can't buy a piece of lumber like that. It has to be milled by somebody, and to have a piece milled like that would cost a bit of money. I mean, granted, at this point, the cost of the saw, the cost of the mill, and all the materials, I'm still in the hole for a long time, but it's fun work. Work at a slow pace, take our time, especially on a humid day like today. Take your time, and it's nice to see when you slide a slab off. There's something to be said about that versus going to a sawmill and having it already done. Like I don't know what else I can say. There's something good about that. Yeah. So, like I said, I'm going to go on vacation, and it's going to be a couple weeks before you see a new video. But when we come back, maybe I'll do another one milling if I get the other attachment, and I'll run that other mill probably on a different saw so I can leave this one, because what I have to do now is unbolt this one every time I do anything. So, yeah. So hopefully I'll get the other attachment. And I'd like to get a log furniture tool for creating round ends out of like maple logs for legs. But these are beefy as heck, so I'm probably going to make the bottom, I'm not sure, maybe out of some big round firewood and just square the tops off. They make a nice bench, I think. So, yeah, like I said, there should be a couple of weeks. I'll be back come middle of August. Like probably this 14th, 15th, whatever the weekend is around then, I'll be back out to the cabin. So, I also have a mill back in the city. I have a jet a metal mill that I just got from my mom's husband. I mentioned I was interested in getting a mill, and he's like, "Do you want one?" Because he bought a lathe, and it came with the mill for free, and he never used the mill, so it was unused for 15 years. I don't know anything about milling at all, steel, so I have a big learning curve there. But there's a couple of things I've been looking to make that I need a mill for. So maybe I'll do a video or two of that. Maybe he'll can point me to where I can learn more information. So yeah, like I said, until I talk to you guys next, well, a couple weeks. Thanks for watching.